Today's episode is brought to you by Marvel's Midnight Suns. Now today we're going to talk about a character that a lot of people are familiar with. Blade is exactly the type of person that you want hunting down supernatural threats in the night. This half-vampire has spent his long career protecting the world from the things that go bump in the night while brushing elbows with some of the most powerful heroes in the Marvel Universe. But most people don't realize that Blade didn't start out as the Daywalker. Let's have a look at his past. Blade has always shown himself to be highly dedicated to his goal of hunting down and killing every single vampire on the known Earth. Nothing will sway him from this goal. His dedication is pure, to the point where he's gotten into fights against other heroes. Blade was created by Marv Wolfman and Gene Colan to act as a hero fighting against Dracula. First appearing in The Tomb of Dracula, number 10, in 1973, the character was used for most of the 11 issues and then appeared sporadically. Wolfman eventually pulled him out of the series, citing that he felt the character was overshadowing the book, and that he didn't have the ability to write him properly. Blade would get his own solo story in Vampire Tales number 8 in 1974. He would feature randomly throughout the 70s and the 80s, but become more popular in the 90s, when dark and edgy characters became the norm. Blade was then featured heavily in the Midnight Suns books, brought together by Doctor Strange to fight against the forces of evil. He would also join the Night Stalkers, but it was after he was featured in the Spider-Man animated series in the Blade trilogy that his character suddenly became incredibly popular, with the character becoming a half-vampire to fall in line with the movies. Since then, Blade has been featured throughout the Marvel Universe, teaming up with several powerful heroes to stop vampire threats throughout the world. He has fought alongside the X-Men, joined governments such as S.H.I.E.L.D. and MI-13, and is currently a member of the Avengers and the Sheriff of Chernobyl. That's the place where the new vampire nation has laid its claim. Eric Cross Brooks was born with an immunity to vampire bites after his mother was killed by the vampire Deacon Frost when she was giving birth to him. Eric would then be taken in by Jamal Afari after he helped fight against 3 vampires. Learning of Eric's past, Jamal began to teach him in the way of hunting vampires. With Eric becoming an extraordinary athlete and highly skilled with knives, he took on the moniker of Blade. Blade became highly skilled at hunting weaker vampires and eventually joined a group known as the Blood Shadows. The gang continued to hunt the vampires until they came up against the Lamia, a powerful vampire who had wiped out the gang before Blade could kill her. He would learn that Jamal was also killed by Dracula and would begin his hunt for the vampire lord. Blade would then team up with Quincy Harker, Rachel Van Helsing, and Frank Drake. The group would hunt down Dracula across the world, believing that they had killed him several times, though the Lord of Vampires would eventually return. Blade would then eventually come to America, where he would meet Hannibal King, who had been turned into a vampire by Deacon Frost. The pair would hunt down Frost, eventually killing him, and the pair would then form the team known as the Night Stalkers, hunting supernatural threats throughout America. They would also team up with the Midnight Suns, led by Doctor Strange, fighting alongside the likes of Ghost Rider and Morbius, hunting down vampires, warlocks, and the Darkholders. They would work alongside Strange to cast the Montesi formula, wiping out all of the vampires from the Earth, though they all eventually returned due to the reversing of the spell and Marvel's need to have vampires in their stories. Blade would then strike out on his own once again, teaming up alongside other heroes in the Marvel Universe. While working with Spider-Man, he would then be bitten by Morbius, the living vampire. The unique vampire bite would cause his already strange DNA to mutate, giving Blade all of the strengths of the vampires that he hunted, but none of the weaknesses. Afterwards, Blade was given the nickname Daywalker by the Vampire Nation. During most of the major events, Blade has been shown to work in the background, hunting vampires and evil in the darker corners of the Marvel Universe. He's worked with S.H.I.E.L.D. for a time, training their vampire hunting units, and also became an agent of MI-13 in London. He worked alongside the X-Men when they fought against Zarius, Dracula's son, and the new ruler of the Vampire Nation. But he departed from the team when they tried to kill a turned Jubilee and disagreed on the idea of resurrecting Dracula to fight his son. He would then fight alongside and eventually join the Avengers at Black Panther's request, fighting alongside them during the Vampire Civil War. After the Vampire Nation laid claim to Chernobyl, he was appointed the sheriff by the Avengers. So there you have it. Blade is definitely someone that you want on your side when fighting against the forces of darkness. I mean, he's already fought on the side of the Midnight Suns in the past, so why wouldn't he be involved in this story? If you want to know more about what his role is in the game, you'll just have to play the game to find out. And check back with us for more info on Marvel's Midnight Suns. Hope you enjoyed today's video. My name is Benny, and this video was brought to you by Marvel's Midnight Suns. I'll see you guys next time.